Bitcoin dominance is back. Hello people, the Bitcoin dominance above 50%. What does it mean and will it lead to a new Altseason? Let's find it out in today's chart. Today I will analyze Bitcoin USDT. I will analyze the Bitcoin dominance chart. Also Ethereum versus the Bitcoin. Everything is related to each other. Ethereum, USDT, Hot Mining Group 8 and SONY. So let's kick off with the weekly chart of Bitcoin. A nice green candle this week. We have seen some amazing price action, currently at 30,660. And let's see where we are. We are having some resistance of the bottom over here. We're trying to create a higher high. So let's find out. In about 10 hours the weekly chart will be closed, and if it stays above 30,380, then next week weekly gain is possible. From the weekly chart I will change to the daily, and I will make last week's plan visible. So scenarios much positiver as expected, so I will remove those who are not valid anymore, and I will clean up the chart. I want to start all over. So starting at the weekly, the last weekly low, 25,940. The last weekly high, 30,330. So a closure above will be very nice, and try to gain it coming week. And then if so, then next week resistance at 37,800 will be interesting. And then the next one about 46,400. Okay, I will go back to the daily. So what now? We do want to hold as high as possible. We do have a daily gain here. Let me see. Yes, we do. We do have a daily gain of the last high. That was yesterday. So very nice. And now let's try to find continuation. Another higher low. Interesting areas for a long might be 28,800, either 27,250. But I do prefer to hold as high as possible. This one is already tested, 30,300. Okay, I will draw some scenarios for the coming days. So either a test of 30,400 and try to break, and if we manage to break, then next target is 36,000. or a little lower support at 27,300 and try to break the current high, or we continue the movement upwards and then with a pullback try to aim for the 37,800. So that will be the scenarios for the coming days. And from Bitcoin USDT, I will go to the Bitcoin dominance chart, currently at the weekly. And what do we see? We see this nice movement, low and high, higher low, higher high, and it's continuing to go upwards. And also the last high of the dominance was here in December 2020, January 2021, just before the bull run. If I go back to the weekly chart of Bitcoin, and if you see December 2020, here was the Bitcoin dominance chart high. And what happened after that? The Bitcoin dominance chart dropped below. So, and then at the same time, when the dominance chart went below, we printed the new all-time highs over here. And also we had an altcoin rally. So be aware, you never know if the 2023 alt season will start very soon. So interesting to find out what will happen with the Bitcoin dominance chart. Currently, we are heading resistance, the 52% level. And from there, then the next one is about 57%. Okay. So I will make a few scenarios for the coming days. So either a rejection of 52%, a test of 47, and try to break the 52%, aiming for 57. If Bitcoin goes downwards a little bit in dominance, that will give some relief to the altcoins, some positive movement, because it's all about money flow. It goes from one to another. Or we will test 57 immediately, pull back, and that can be either around 52 or 47, and then try to aim towards the last high. And if the dominance chart lose the 47%, then next target will be 42.8. So interesting. And also interesting related to this is the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. Here it is, starting at the weekly chart. I've drawn this one before in probably February 12th. So take a look at the previous video on February 12th. So as you can see, I've drawn in 3 different scenarios which are still valid. Seems like either a test of the 0.05 will happen, that's the one over here, the white line, or worst case, the next one, the 0.03 Satoshi. So if that's happened, then the altcoins will bleed more. And that also related to the Bitcoin dominance chart. If this goes lower, the dominance chart will go higher. Yes? So these are still valid. And from Ethereum versus Bitcoin, I will go to Ethereum starting at the weekly chart. Also a green week, but seems like Ethereum is weaker than Bitcoin at current time. Because Bitcoin is already past this high at the weekly chart, sprinting on higher high. And Ethereum is facing some resistance. From the weekly, I will change to the daily. And I will make last week's plan visible. And I will remove the scenarios which are not valid anymore. As you can see, last week, these were one of the scenarios. Some resistance at 1890, and there is some resistance. The closures 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row, just below it. So you might have been in a short position, but probably not anymore now. It's not much, but let me see, 1.25%, so basically a small scalp. Okay, so what do we see? Resistance from the last drop off. So here we had a low, and high, and higher low, but having some difficulties to print a higher high. And you can also consider this as a loss of the range over here. So either we go back to the start of the impulse, 1668, and try to break it, or this scenario is still valid, a test of about 1778. Or we gain the last drop off, a retest around 1890 and try to aim for the 2142. And if Ethereum somehow lose support of the last low of 1668, then it will probably go back to 1590. Okay, and that was Ethereum for the coming days. From Ethereum, I will go to Hut8 Mining Group, starting at the monthly chart. So, what do we see at the monthly chart? This high lead to the low over here in December. It was the start of the impulse over here in October 2020. Okay, from the monthly, I will change to the weekly. We do have a nice weekly gain of this whole range between 81 cents and $2.23. We also have gained the last drop off Okay. Okay, the scenarios for the coming days, either a test of $3.50 pullback around $2.23 and try to break the $3.50 aiming for $5.70, and that will be a potential profit of 153%. Okay. Wait. Or we go downwards, pick some liquidity at $1.30 and try to aim for the $3.56. And third scenario, if HUD8 succeed to gain the whole area right away, then a pullback, aggressive one with entry at $3.56, aiming somewhere between $6 and $8. Also nice potential profit of 137%. So very nice. And from HUD8 mining group, I will go to SONY, starting at the monthly chart. So what do we see at the monthly chart? I will remove this one a little bit downward. Upwards momentum. This is interesting because the low over here, the $57, is held over here, is still functioning as support. So 64, this area is tested, and now we're facing resistance from here, $97. I'll show you guys. By the way, smash the like button, join Team NakedTrader if you like this content, join the group, follow me on all the socials. You can find it in the banner in the description down below. I will upload new video, a weekly market update every Sunday, a special coin or asset every Wednesday, and different shorts during the week. So as you can see, the $97 was support over here, was little resistance over here, and now it's facing as resistance too. So from the monthly I will change to the weekly. Also nice low and high, and higher low, higher high, higher low. The gain of the last drop off over here. Another higher high, we've gained this one also. So at the weekly chart, you want to defend the $82. Okay, I will draw some scenarios for the coming days. So either a test of $82 and try to break the $97, aiming for 115 and higher. We lose support of $82, a test of 63.93 and try to come back in the $82. Pullback at $74 and try to break 97. And the last one is we go straight up, test the $97 and then aiming for 126. So these are the 4 scenarios. Thank you guys for watching this episode. Don't forget, smash the like button, join Team NakedTrader, subscribe, follow me in the socials. You can find it in the banner in the description down below. And see you guys Wednesday and also next Sunday. Have a nice evening and bye bye.